No, I'm just like, one second. Are we rolling already?
We are already, don't worry.
Acha,
Just take
theek
your
hai.
time.
I just want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
When can I join? Because I'm working, but I would love to be part of this. It seems
Yeah,
like such a wonderful environment to be a part
Yeah.
of.
In the beginning, when this came as an offer, I felt it is a challenge. And in corner of my mind, I was thinking about the milestones of my career.
If you were to look 5 or 10 years into the future, what is the ultimate benchmark that you have set for the university under your leadership?
Yeah. See, the vision and mission of any university is they have to be of a global standard.
Fests or clubs or events that the university is to organize.
The management always says that some entertainment needs to happen. I always believe that along with the study, along with the curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular is mandatory. We have to balance all the three.
Medical students don't have a social life apart from just studying.
Many parents, they say that no, this is enough, don't put them. I said, see, when I was a student, my mom had put me for everything.
Welcome back to another episode of the College Dunya podcast. Today we are joined by a visionary who's redefining higher education. The former long-standing dean of the Saptagiri Institute of Medical Sciences and Research Center, she brings over 27 years of academic and administrative brilliance to the table. Her career is a masterclass in leadership. Today, as the Vice Chancellor of Saptagiri NPS University, she is bridging the world between academics and management. Welcome, Dr. Jayanti. It's a pleasure to have
Namaste.
you. So, before we begin, I just want to know a little bit about the fact that you've dedicated 12 years to leading Saptagiri Institute of Medical Sciences and Research Center as a dean. So, I want to know how your leadership philosophy has evolved over the years.
Yeah, to speak about myself, in the beginning when this came as an offer, whether I'll be able to face this as a challenge. But when I look back, I was just thinking about the milestones of my career. So first, I started within a department. In the department, I started just as a lecturer after my post-graduation. Assistant professor, associate, professor and HOD. So within the department, what is needed? A goal is needed, a vision, a mission is needed, and how to evaluate that.
Absolutely.
So this went on. So after that, I took the responsibility as a dean and the principal for about 13 years. Again, there I had to again think of the vision and mission of the institute, the goal, and how to bring out the changes. So there, it was between the disciplines, that is between the departments, various departments of the college and the medical college and the hospital.
Right.
Now, it is, which I am supposed to handle is the university. The university again has a goal. So I have to align all the goals of the disciplines, align with the vision of the university. The next point is what I'm supposed to think about is how to steer this, how to drive this into the curricular, bring about changes or all the discipline have to bring about innovations.
Right.
So that is the second point. But on the other hand, without disturbing the whatever is required for the disciplines, that is with respect to the accreditation, with respect to the research. So I didn't feel it is a big challenge. But when I went into every department, for example, if you take the engineering part, in the engineering, what is needed? We have to focus on the industry. So what upcoming industry needs? So we have to align the research as needed for the industry. The next is develop patent which is needed for the industry. Third point is we have to bring about the joining the students along with the industry by bringing about some internship programs after their studies. Now, when it comes to the medical is like bringing about quality healthcare, quality student education. So we have to bring about accreditation process of all those hospitals and the students and bring about skill changes. The important skill changes is needed in the medical because they have to handle the patient care. Right. Third, when it comes to the management or the applied science, we have to bring about execution, that is execution, leadership qualities. And the next point which is important is like we have to do is bring about some degrees, that is joint degrees. joining the medical along with the management, or medical with the engineering, or engineering with the this or the applied science, and bring about some certificate courses, or bring about some workshops or some programs. So where joint venture of all the three happens. So I did not feel it is, though it was like a challenge, I felt I can do the changes because I worked from the beginning as a smaller this thing to a higher up. So steering the entire university.
That's honestly such a remarkable journey. I think talking about your journey from the beginning, I think it's very inspiring.
Thank you.
Building on that, your foundational mission emphasizes on healthcare and quality education that's accessible to everybody. So as you scale SNPSU into a premier private university, I want to know how you're going to go about that growth. And I also want to know how the commitment is reflected through scholarships.
Yeah. See, now in a university, especially at Saptagiri NPS University, the vision and mission is we have to take care of the patient.
Right.
Because we have the medical part, the engineering part with the management, and we have got the applied science. So now, who are the stakeholders? The stakeholders are the patients. Other side, the stakeholders are the students. Now, we have to give quality care for the patients. Along with that, what we have to do is we have to take care of the students. So if in case we don't give free education, free treatment for the patients, we'll not get more patients. So the management came out with an idea of giving free treatment to the patients. So it is not all the patients, like if you take 100%, in that around 50% are free. So where we give free ward, free food, the procedures are free, the pharmacy is up to 50% free, and the lab around 80% free. The radiology is almost free. So like this we give. So we cater to the poor people. So we get large number of occupancies. Since we run the post-graduation in the college departments, pre and paraclinical department, the clinical department, and DM and MCH course in our hospital, we have lots of postgraduate students. So we have to cater to the needs of them. So along with this affordable free facilities for the patient, we also have some schemes called as Ayushman Bharat scheme. We have got even the people who come with the BPL card, for them we take care, and ESI facilities where we, from the admission till the discharge, we don't charge anything for the patient. And about 10 or 20% we have patients who come for the cash patients and third party insurances. So overall 24/7 into 365 days care is being given in the hospital. So, and it is a super specialty and a multi-speciality hospital with more than 1,500 beds. So this was the vision of the university. So this is being taken care, and any given time we have a very good occupancy in the hospital. So this will create proper knowledge for the students, proper skill for the students, and also they can, the communication skill with the patient increases. Now coming to the student part, the management has given very good facilities for the student. State of art lab is there in the hospital, NABH and NABL accredited lab and the hospital. And also we have got very good skill lab in the medical college. Coming to the engineering part, they have given very good facilities throughout. And for the students, for the low socioeconomic group, also they give the scholarships. And along with that, to cater to the meritorious student, they offer the scholarship. So we have students of various areas, various regions, various parts coming over here, and also the meritorious student, the rich student, the poor student, all students are there. So this is the vision of the Saptagiri NPS University. So we can handle any type of students. Even if a student does not have money, the management tells us to make it free. We give free education to many of them.
I think it's beautiful how you incorporated inclusivity and the fact that you have state-of-the-art facilities to cater to them. That is truly wonderful. And I think it's really impressive how you've included the fact that there's so much of inclusivity for everybody and state-of-the-art facilities that are catering to them. And I think the university truly stands out because of this. But beyond education, I think I also want to bring to notice to everybody watching that you have won the Nari Shakti Puraskar in 2024, and that's such a monumental experience. I want to know more about it. I want to know how significant the systemic barriers are in the education system for women especially, and how to tackle them, how to overcome these.
Yeah. See, getting a Nari Shakti award is not from my side alone. It is by both the genders. Both of them have supported. See, they say for every woman, a man is there, or for every man, a woman is there. So I believe in that. See, in my university, have been given this post by the management. So there is no gender discrimination at all. And when it comes to the hospital part, the hospital or the university, the people who are working here, first you take about the doctors. Majority of them are the lady doctors. And male doctors are there, but without any discrimination. The next is coming to the healthcare workers who are present over here. Again, majority of them are the nursing staffs are the female, and non-teaching, some of them are male. So when it comes to the other side, that is the engineering side, we have equal number. So without any discrimination. Coming to the students again, in the medical side, again the students, the girls are taking the medicine more than the boys. So again, the government doesn't say that it should be given only to the boys or to the girls. It's based on their capacity, hard working, all that. So there is no discrimination in our university. But when you come to the social part, to the public area, we see that in the healthcare. So there are people who are working in the public, in the society, in the community. There are ASHA workers. So majority of them, I can say 99.9% are female. When it comes to the nursing, around 90% are again women. But when decision making happens in the health part, only 18% have got the representations of women. Majority are taken by men. Though the groundwork is done by the women,
Right.
the decision is taken by the men. So that is not within the university, but it is everywhere. So that should be reduced, and they have to give importance to the ladies also. And second is, in the society, they should be given some safety. Safety part, not in our hospital, but in the district hospital, in the taluk hospitals, and when they move around in the public. So that one is the discrimination should go down, the confidence should improve among the women, the work-life balance should be understood by everyone, because they have to handle the family, the children, and they have to come to the workplace. So that has to be taken care by the society, by the public, and the stakeholders. So, but with respect to that, I think if the government really thinks about bringing them some changes, like already they have done, when for the women who delivers, they give 6 months or 8 months maternity leave. For the men, they give paternity leave. So like that, they give more of these leaves and all. But few other things also can be taken care. But the government has done the initiation, but it can be improvised more than this. And work-life balance has to be taken care by the women, because she is the one who has to handle the workplace, and also she has to handle the family. So that is the main thing which I can tell you.
Absolutely. I agree with everything that you said, because women do need a larger representation as a whole in society. But with that said, it's such a refreshing change to see that there are a lot of women in the university taking up all of these roles. And it's so impressive to know that there's something more to look forward to. Ma'am, now looking ahead, if you were to look 5 or 10 years into the future, what is the ultimate benchmark that you have set for the university under your leadership?
Yeah. See, the vision and mission of any university is they have to be of a global standard. Because the students over here should be able to meet the global challenges. So my idea is, it is like, globally they should be competent enough Our university should have a global ranking. The students should have a representation across the globe. Then good placement needs to happen, and the packages should be increased. The confidential level should increase. Then next is we have to see to that the research, because it is an interdisciplinary institute which very few universities across India has got. So where the health is there, the engineering is there, and the applied is there along with the management. So we can bring about some changes, like with respect to the ecosystem, with respect to the research, bring about good patents. The patents which has been recognized globally, and it has been the standardized. Next is academically, we should be recognized across the globe. And faculty exchange program needs to happen. Student exchange program needs to happen. And next is with respect to the medical part, these people needs to develop the skill where they are confident enough to handle any patient across the globe. All of you know that there was a COVID which happened.
Yes.
So India has contributed to the maximum, the immunization part. So we have a very good number of youth in the population of around 140 crores. The youth representation, that is from 15 to 25 or 30 years, is around 50%. So if we take them in a very positive way, if we teach them about the values in life, the ecosystem in life, work-life balance in life, then discipline in life, all this, if we teach them, and along with that, inculcating the research and inculcating the artificial intelligence into the medical part, the administration into the medical part, medical people gelling with the engineering part in the research, like which is called as biomedical research, like that. If we do all that, see, we should be recognized globally. And when it comes to the hospital part, people nowadays, what happens is not only there is people visiting the India or foreign countries for just a visit, but here we should be a hub for the foreign people entering the hospitals. So that we have to cater. So the standard of the hospital also should improve, standard of the student also should improve, the skill has to improve, and the communication has to improve. So overall, if we think about all this, I think we have to come out with lot of lot of publications in a very good impact journals. I think we will be able to take care of whatever is needs, our vision and the mission part.
I think it's so impressive how you talked about the holistic growth of not only the individual student who's here, also the institution. And I think building on that, I want to know about work-life balance, because sometimes all work and no play makes the student a dull person, right? So I want to know what initiatives like fests or clubs or events that the university is to organize so that students also have a good time besides learning.
So for this, I should really thank my management, because management never says no for anything. So though the number of students are more, we don't differentiate that this is from medical discipline or engineering or the business studies or management studies or applied. The management always says that some entertainment needs to happen. I always believe that along with the study, along with the curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular is mandatory. We have to balance all the three. And the management has come out with few ideas and told us to go about with this. With this, the support of the faculties and all and the students, we do that Aura Fest. It goes in a very large scale across all the disciplines for many large number of days, where every talent is being recognized. Starting from the first year till the internship they complete, majority of the students will participate. Some of them will not be will be having that hesitation. For them, there is a drawing, painting, so the pot painting. Some of them get into the music thing, that is music therapies. So because nowadays that music therapy has come out in the hospitals. So I say some of the students, if a person is depressed, go sing a song in front of that patient. So that will really bring some changes in him. You can see the smile in her or in him. So I say, bring out your talent. Okay, if you feel like you're not good in singing, bring out some jokes in front of a psychiatry patient. So any patient who is bedridden or a patient who has not seen the outside world for many a days. So that is one. The next is these students, there are hackathons, tech hackathons, which happens regularly in the university. Then next is we have even TEDx. We conducted TEDx second time we
Lovely.
conducted, and we
Okay.
called various speakers, very good speakers. That is a motivational talk by everyone. So that student will get to know that how he can change from his side. And also they also, as you asked about work-life balance,
Yes.
many of them told their life histories in their TEDx talks. So that is an inspiring for the students. And next is the sports activities. If you take, many of them have got national level, international level, state level gold medals,
Oh, wow.
silver medals, all that. So we encourage, as I said, the curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular. Not only the students, faculty also participate.
Oh,
Each
it's
one of us
lovely.
participate. Each one of us. We don't differentiate, and we work with the students. We participate with the students without any discrimination, without any bias. It goes on for almost a month like that.
Oh, is it?
Everything. So its importance is being given here.
I think that sounds wonderful. It seems like you have everything for an introvert and extrovert. You have everything across the board. And I just want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
When can I join? Because
Yeah.
I'm working, but I would love to be part of this. It seems
Yeah,
like such a wonderful environment to be a part
Yeah.
of.
So we are planning to go for even the evening classes and all,
Okay.
and online classes. As you said, like we'll see what you are interested. We want to bring about some changes. Some of them, see, for example, I'm working, but my hobby is music. So I was talking about introducing music therapy into the hospital, this thing. So even I can do PhD in music along with my degree, with whatever degree I've got. So like that, as I said, the joint things we have to do, joint degrees, joint PhD program, joint MSc programs, joint fellowships. So even you are welcome. We'll try to bring about some changes and bring about some evening classes, online classes, all that based on your requirement, based on your time, using the AI technologies, using the robots. So many things are there now, so we can do all that.
Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. That was extremely insightful. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah,
And I look forward to more such conversations. I would love to have you again.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.